to the Vedic version. 5, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6, to give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8, to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritual activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities, Karma Kanda. 9, to instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10, to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success, Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move to our next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all have joined the class this morning?
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Preeti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Arvind Das from Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Arvind Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to the assembled devotees. Yashamati from Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Yashamati Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga, and to all the assembled devotees. This is Megha from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Megha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Nita Gandharvita Devi Dasi from Texas. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Shyama Gauri Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Shyama Gauri Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful background, Mataji.
Oh, thank you.
Like everyone has the Narsingha Dev for protection.
Yeah.
Mataji, you so many. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Srila Prabhupada ki jai and Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Radha from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Radha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vardhana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. This is Padmasaki Devi Dasi from Florida.
Hare Krishna, Padmasaki Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. This is Shiromani Nandarani Devi Dasi from Krishna Katha Desh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shiromani Nandana Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji. This is Kamadiki Dasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All Guru Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada, and all the devotees. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Kamadiki Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vardhana Mataji. Thank you.
Is anybody else would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Radha Damodar Das and Ratnamaya from Austin, Texas. Please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to all the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna Radha Damodar Prabhuji and Atmaya Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I will start.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. I didn't get your name, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you can start recording, Mataji.
Urja and Urvi.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Welcoming all of you to the Bhakti Sangha conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji. Prabhuji is going to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18, verse 7. I request Suresh or Shyam Prabhuji to give brief introduction of Kamal Lochan Prabhuji. Prabhuji, please take out the call, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhuji was born in Mysore in the Madhva Brahmin family, brought up in Andhra Pradesh in a very orthodox family where he developed a natural taste for inquiring into the mysteries of God's creation. Passed out of Marine Engineering Research Institute, Calcutta in 1994, it is there in the college as a cadet he came in touch with the devotees of International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Prabhuji found that all the unanswered questions were completely satisfied in the books of Srila Prabhupada. Still, as an engineering student, he studied Bhagavad Gita 5 times and mastered the Gaudiya Vaishnava Vedanta philosophy in a short period of 2 years and was initiated into the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He joined the Merchant Navy as an engineering officer and worked for 3 years. During this time, he felt the urge to teach the message of Gita to children and youth who were misguided by consumerism. So he gave up his lucrative job and joined ISKCON Mira Road, where he was promoted as the vice president of ISKCON Mira Road within a year and is currently the co-president of ISKCON Mira Road. He is also a visiting professor in MS University for Management and Social Work faculties, and also conduct seminars on personality development topics in educational and corporate sectors. His only concern is that the children and youth should understand the moral and spiritual values as enunciated in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. His life is dedicated to teaching children and youth. Hare Krishna Mataji, back to you, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Mataji, can we wait for Prabhu or can you?
Yeah. Do you see Prabhuji? No. Let me call him.
We'll continue chanting, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Ram Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Hare Ram
Hare
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Ram
Ram Hare Ram
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 Ram Hare
Ram
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Srivasadi Gauravathu Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Mataji Prabhuji is on the call. Hare Krishna Kamal Lochan Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for giving your valuable time. Hare Krishna Kamal Lochan Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving your valuable association, Prabhuji, valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Please take out the call, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Canto 5, Chapter 18 and text number 7. Five 18:7. Now, Harivamsha. हरिवंशे चापि भगवान् नरहरिरूपेणास्ते तद्रूप ग्रहणानिमित्तम् उत्तरताराभिपत्येषे तद्दैतं रूपं महापुरुषगुणभाजनो महाभागवतो दैतदानवकुल शीर्षिकारण शीलच्चरितप्रह्लादो अनन्य भक्ति योगेन सह तद्वर्षपुरुषैर् उपास्ते idam chodaharati. Word meaning Harivarshe, in the tract of land known as Harivarsha. Cha also, api indeed, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narahari Rupena, in his form of Narasimha, Aste is situated, Tad Rupa Grahana Nimittam, the reason why the Lord Krishna Keshava assumed the form of Narasimha, Uttaratara, in the later chapters. Abhidhyasye, I shall describe that the most pleasing Rupam, form of the Lord. Mahapurusha Gunabhajanaha Prahlada, who is the abode of all good qualities of great personalities. Mahabhagavata, the topmost devotee. Daita Dhanava Kula Irti Karana Shila Charita, whose activities and characters were so exalted that he delivered all the Daitas born in the family. Prahlad, Maharaj Prahlad, Avyavadhana Ananya Bhakti Yogena, by uninterrupted and unflinching devotional services, Saha, with Tadvarsha Purushaihi, the inhabitants of Harivarsha, Upaste, offer obeisances to and worship Idam, this cha, and Udaharati chants. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadeva Goswami continued, my dear king, Lord Narasimha resides in a tract of land known as Harivarsha. In the 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, I shall describe to you how Prahlad Maharaj caused the devotee to assume the form of Narasimha. Prahlad Maharaj, the topmost devotee of the Lord, is a reservoir of all the good qualities of great personalities. His character and his activities have delivered all the fallen members of his demoniac family. Lord Narasimha is very dear to this exalted personality. Thus, Prahlad Maharaj, along with his servants and all the denizens of Harivarsha, worship Lord Narasimha by chanting the following mantra. So, purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jayadev Goswamis. Jayadev Goswamis 10 prayers worshipping the incarnations of Lord Krishna, Keshava, contain his name in every stanza. For example, Keshavadrita, Narahari Rupa, Jai Jagadish Hare. Keshavadrita, Meena Sharira, Jai Jagadish Hare. And Keshavadrita, Vamana Rupa, Jai Jagadish Hare. The word Jagadisha refers to the proprietor of all the universes. His original form is the two-handed form of Lord Krishna standing with a flute in his hand and engaged in tending the cows. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Chinta Mani Prakara Sattva Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vrtesha Surabhira Vipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasrashata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primary Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cows, healing all the desires in abodes built with the spiritual germs and surrounded by hundreds of thousands of goddesses of fortune. From this verse, we learn that Govinda or Krishna is the Adi Purusha, the original person. The Lord has innumerable incarnations, exactly like the innumerable waves of the floatway river. But the original form is Keshava, or original form is Krishna or Keshava. Sukadeva Goswami refers to Narasimha because of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was put in great distress by his powerful father, the demon Hiranyakashipu, apparently helpless before him. Prahlad Maharaj called on Lord, who immediately assumed the gigantic form of Narasimha Deva, half lion and half man, to kill the gigantic demon. Although Krishna is original person, one without a second, he assumed different forms just to satisfy his devotees or to execute a specific purpose. Therefore, Jayadeva Goswami always repeats the name Keshavadrita, Keshava, the original personality of Godhead, in his prayers describing Lord Krishna's different incarnations of different purposes. ओमज्ञानविरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुमैष्टवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धौ दीनबन्धौ जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्ते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गि राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So fifth canto 18th chapter is going on, and now we are in the 7th verse. After describing about Hayagriva, Hayagriva is the horse form of Krishna. Hayagriva is one of the forms of the Lord where he protects Vedas and gives to Brahma. He kills the demon Hayashirsha and then gives the Vedas to Brahma. Hayagriva is the horse form of Krishna, and Vishwakshena is the elephant form of Krishna. Like that, Krishna has got many incarnations. People say 10 incarnations, but actually not 10. They are unlimited. Avataraya Sanke. In the first canto, third chapter, there are so many incarnations being counted. First, second, third, fourth, like that. After counting 24 incarnations, Sutta Goswami says, I did a mistake, 2 mistakes. First mistake is I counted the incarnations. That is my mistake, because you cannot count something which is unlimited. If I give you one big gunny bag full of mustard and say count, my foolishness, your foolishness is to count them. My foolishness is to tell you to count. Among them, who are more foolish? Counting person is more foolish. It's unlimited. How can you count? So incarnations cannot be counted. So Sutta Goswami says, I did a mistake. He says, Avataraya Sanke Hare Sattvanidedicha. The incarnations are unlimited. Yata Vidasina Kulyaha Sarasu Sahasrashaha. Like from a pond, you can make so many different streams of water coming out of it. Unlimited streams of water can be derived from one pond. In the same way, unlimited incarnations are manifesting from the Swarupa of Krishna, and counting them is by foolishness. Now, what is the second mistake, which is more serious than the first mistake of counting them? The second mistake is when I listed the incarnations of the Lord, I counted Krishna as an incarnation. That is my second mistake. That is why he says, Yete chamsa kalapurusam Krishnastu. He corrects the mistake by saying Krishnastu. But Krishna, whatever list I mentioned, they are all, Yete means they all, Yetesha. Who are they? Amsha and Kala of whom Krishna. But The Krishna whom I mentioned among Kala and Ansha, they are not. Krishna is not neither Kala nor Amsha. He is Amshi. He is not an avatar. He is avatari. So in the first canto, third chapter, Sukadeva Goswami he admits his two mistakes. Counting Krishna as an avatar and thinking Krishna is an avatar is a big mistake. Because he is Swayam Rupa. All the avatar comes under the category of Tadekatma Rupa. If you go to teachings of Lord Chaitanya, conversations between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sanatana Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Sanatana Goswami that there are three kinds of avatars, categories of forms, not avatars, three categories of forms of Krishna. Swayam Rupa, Tadekatma Rupa and Avesha Rupa. Within Swayam Rupa, there is Swayam Rupa and Swayam Prakasha. Swayam Rupa is Krishna and Swayam Prakasha is Balaram. The only difference is the color and the form, that's all. In Tadekatma Rupa, there is Prabhava and Vibhava. The Sankarshna, Pradyumna, Anuddha and Vasudeva who are staying in Dwaraka, in four directions in Dwaraka. And they expand as Sankarshna, Pradyumna, Anuddha and Vasudeva in Vaikuntha. The Dvitiya Chaturvyuha. And from then, unlimited Chaturvyuhas are coming from Sankarshana. So these are all Prabhava. In the Vibhava category, who is there? They are all these incarnations. Among the different forms which Krishna manifests in Vaikuntha, these forms, few of them appear in this planet. And those who descend to this planet or to this material world, they are called avatari, avatara, incarnation. Ultimately, all these incarnations are springing out from whom? From Krishna only. So the best proof that Krishna is the source of all incarnations, all the forms, is Jayadeva Goswami. He is our authority. Many people in India, if you ask them to list the 10 avatars, they say, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, Vamana, and Parashurama, Rama, Balarama, Krishna, and Kalki. Instead of Buddha, they put Krishna. But the concept of Dashavatar was made famous by whom? Jayadeva Goswami. No Puranas talk about Dashavatar. Only Dashavatar was made famous by, he selected few avatars and glorified them. And in the Dashavatar list, unfortunately, people think that there is Krishna there. No. In all the prayers, Keshavadrita, Minasharira, Keshavadrita, Kasyaparupa, and Keshavadrita, Kurma Sharira, Keshavadrita, Kurma Sharira, Keshavadrita, Matsya Kurma, Varaha Rupa, Sukra Rupa, and then Keshavadrita, Narahari Rupa, Keshavadrita, Vamana Rupa, Keshavadrita, Bhrugupati Rupa, Keshavadrita, Rama Sharira, Keshavadrita, then you have Rama, Parashurama, then you have Haladara Rupa, Balaram, then Buddha Sharira, then Kalki Sharira. And the 11th verse it says, Keshavadrita, Dashavida Rupa, Jai Jagadishare, Jayade, Mudidam, Mudaram, Shunu, Shukadam, Sukadam, Shubadam, Bhavasaram, Keshavadrita, Dashavida Rupa, Jai Jagadishare. So, person who actually wrote this Dashavatara Stotra, he doesn't mention Krishna as an avatar. He mentions Krishna as a source of all avatars. That is why he says Keshava. Keshava is exclusively Krishna's name. One who arranges the hairs of Radharani so nicely, Kesha of Radharani, Keshava. Or one who kills Keshi Daman. Or Ka Isha, who even surpasses the strength of Brahma and Lord Shiva. So like that, there are so many derivations of the word Keshava. But when you say Keshava, it doesn't refer to Rama, it doesn't refer to any no incarnation, only refers to Krishna. So Hayagriva is the form of Krishna, is a horse form of Krishna. Hayagriva is glorified. Jnananandamayam devam nirmalaspatikakritim. Jnananandamayam devam nirmalaspatikakritim. Spatikakritim, spatika. I heard about spatika, spatika stone. It is very crystalline. That is a color. Jnananandamayam devam. His body is made up of full of knowledge and bliss. Satchitananda Jnananandamayan Devam Nirmala Spatikakritim Adharam Sarvavidyanam. He is the source. He is the basis of all the knowledge. Adharam Sarvavidyanam Egrim Pasmahe. So very, very interesting verse. If somebody wants to get knowledge, worship Hayagriva. Hayagriva is a very interesting. There's so many pastimes of Hayagriva, but not so famous in ISKCON. But a lot of pastimes are there. How he in Sri Sampradaya, Hayagriva is worshipped by Vedanta Deshika. Hayagriva manifested and gave him a deity to worship. The same deity is still there in Tiruvahindrapuram in Kadalur district. In Chidambaram, Tiruvahindrapuram is a place where 32 years he worshipped Hayagriva. Garuda gave mantra, Hayagriva mantra to Vedanta Deshika. Vedanta Deshika, he worshipped Hayagriva, and Hayagriva revealed all knowledge to him. In the Madhya Sampradaya, one more Acharya who is a great devotee of Hayagriva is Vajirada Tirtha. And one Vedanta Deshika is Gantavatar. In Tirupati, you don't have bell. You have the bell manifested in the form of Vedanta Deshika. There, the Brahmana who took the letter from Rukmini to Krishna, that Brahmana, he incarnated as Vajirada Tirtha, which yogi, Vajirada. Vajirada Guru Mande, Hayagriva Dayashvayan, the Pranam mantra of Vajirada Tirtha. So, Hayagriva person used to come and take Hayagriva from Vajirada Tirtha. Hayagriva is a sweet dish in Karnataka. We used to eat a lot in our childhood. A lot. Every week, Hayagriva is made of chana dal, ghee. As much chana dal, so much ghee you make. Make the dish. That is liked very much by Hayagriva. And because Lord Hayagriva likes it, the sweet name itself is known as Hayagriva. Vajirada Tirtha. He appeared in Madhya Sampradaya, and he saw Hayagriva is being worshipped every day in Pandharpur. Then Hayagriva, he went to every day. There was one farmer complaining, from your ashram, from your matha, one horse is coming and then eating all my corn. Then Vajirada told him, what horse you are taking? I am a sadhu and there is no horse. I am not a king to keep horse. Then the farmer told him, come and see the night. Then Vajirada saw, he was hiding. He saw Lord himself, as Hayagriva, he came and is going here and everywhere in the fields and eating his corns and then going back. Then Vajirada told the farmer, you are so fortunate. The Lord himself is coming and eating all the corns in your corn. Then he told the farmer, he is eating, but what about me? All my efforts are gone. Then he told next day morning, go and see. And he saw in his farm, there was golden corn. Then seeing the beautiful farm of Hayagriva, Dashavatara Shruti was written by Vajirada Tirtha in Ashwaduti. If you hear the song, it is like the tune, the chanda of the song is like the horse is galloping, gallop of the horse. That is a chanda which he used to sing that song. and he composed the Dashavatara Stuti. You want to see that after the class, you can just go Dashavatara Stuti Vadiraja. You type in YouTube, you'll get that song. So I'm just giving some information, some general knowledge, because Hayagriva has been described in the previous verse, and Hayagriva Dayashrayan Jnananandamayan Devam Nirmala Sparigakritim Adharam Sarvavidhyanam Hayagriva Pasmahe. So now after describing Hayagriva, now comes talking about Harivarsha. Harivarshe, Harivarshe in Harivarsha. Cha, in that Harivarsha also, Api Bhagavan Narahari Rupe Aste, he is sitting there. Aste means he is sitting there. He doesn't go here and there. He is permanently sitting. Who is the? Who is he? Narahari Rupa. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare. Now, in this verse, there is a description of Prahalad, his bhakti. Now, before we actually go to this verse, one important point. I'll start with one important question. That is, if I ask anybody, Prahlad Maharaj is whose devotee? Everybody will say Prahlad Maharaj is devotee of Krishna. Sorry, they'll say Prahlad Maharaj is devotee of Narasimha. But our acharyas have clearly told Prahlad Maharaj is not a devotee of Narasimha. Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee of Krishna. He is Krishna's devotee. How can you say that? What is the proof for it? The proof is very simple. For that, we have to go to Srimad Bhagavatam. We have to go to Srimad Bhagavatam, where Narada himself talks about the glory of Prahlad Maharaj. He says, Prahlad Maharaj had so many wonderful qualities. So, what are the qualities which Prahlad Maharaj had? Brahmanya, Shila Sampanna. Brahmanya. Brahmanya means what? Brahmanya means he was so much dedicated to all the Vedic literatures. Brahmanya Shila Sampanna. Shila Sampanna means he has all the good qualities, divine qualities. So many divine qualities that in future, Narada says, wherever and whenever there will be discussion about saintliness, whether in the higher planet systems or on Earth or wherever it is, even in the Asura Loka, if somebody has to talk about good qualities, then they have to talk about Prahlad Maharaj. They just cannot become indifferent. Without talking about Prahlad Maharaj, you just cannot have any good qualities measured. Good qualities can only be measured when we actually talk about Prahlad Maharaj. So Narada himself is glorifying about his disciple. Just imagine a guru glorifying his disciple, not in front of one or two people. Whole Rajasuya Sabha is there. Rajasuya Sabha is there. In that Rajasuya Sabha, Prahlad Maharaj is being glorified. Who is glorifying? His Guru is glorified. That is a perfection. A disciple glorifying spiritual master, that is not perfection. Anyway, he does it. But the Guru, spiritual master, becomes so impressed seeing the devotees, his disciples' qualities, that he starts glorifying. Oh, my disciple is so wonderful. My disciple is so wonderful. Now, in the 7th canto, 4th chapter, 35th verse. Yam sadhugat gata sadasi ripavopi sura ripa pratimanam prakurvanti imutanye bhavadrisha. In any assembly, if somebody has to speak about good qualities, Udhishthir, even enemies of demons, that is, even in heavenly planets, they have to speak about Prahlad. They have to cite Prahlad as an example. Like Prahlad. Gunair alam asankhair. Asankhya, unlimited gunas. Prahlad Maharaj has. Among all the gunas, the topmost guna is bhakti. Hear about it. 36, 37, 38, 3 verses, 7th canto, 4th chapter. Gunairalam asankhair mahatmyam tasya suchyate. Gunair evam asankhair mahatmyam tasya suchyate. I'm going to describe what the Mahatmyam Tasya Suchyate means. I'm just giving you some indication only, not full. Prahlad Maharaj glories cannot be described in full. Tasya Suchyate. Just to give you some indication. Yes, but Asankhya. Some indication has been given. And the real quality I'm going to tell. What is that? Vasudeve Bhagavati Yasya Naisargiki Rati. Vasudeve Bhagavati Yasya Naisargiki Rati. Prahlad Maharaj has Naisargiki Rati towards whom? Vasudeva. Naisargiki. Naisargiki means natural. It is not borrowed, it is not got in this life. It is right from birth, it is there. It is natural for Prahlad Maharaj to be a devotee of Vasudeva. Who is Vasudeva? Narada is telling Prahlad Maharaj has natural affection for Vasudeva. Vasudeva means son of Vasudeva, Krishna. Next, 37th verse. 7th canto, 4th chapter, 37th verse. Yasta Kridantako Balo Jadavattan Manastaya Krishna Graha Grihitatma Naveda Jagadidrisham. From the very beginning, Nesta Balantako Balaha, Kridantako Balaha, right from the beginning of childhood, Prahlad Maharaj, he was not interested in childish activities. And Jadavattam Manastaya, Jadavat, he was like Jada. Jadavat means what? He gave up all the childhood playful activities and then he was silent and was very dull towards all these childish activities. Now, Krishna Graha Grihitatma. What is the meaning of it? Prahlad Maharaj was haunted by Krishna consciousness. Krishna had haunted him. Like a person haunted by the ghost. He doesn't know what is he doing, what is he speaking. So Prahlad Maharaj was haunted. He is totally Krishna conscious. To say the same thing, it is said that he was haunted by Krishna. Grihita, Graha Grihita, he was haunted. Krishna Graha Grihita Atma. That is why Naveda Jagadidrisham. He was not knowing what's happening. Now just see. 38th verse. Asina Paryatan Ashnan. Asina while sitting. Paryatan while walking. Ashnan while eating. Shayanaha while sleeping. Prapiban while drinking, Bhruvam while talking. Nanusandatta etani. Na anusandatta. He was not knowing that he is eating, he is sleeping, he is talking, he is walking, he is sitting. No, he was not knowing. Why? Govinda parilambita. 36 verses Vasudeva Bhagavati Yasya Naisargikirati. 37 verses Krishna Kradvita Atma Naveda Jagadis Vidrisham. 38 verses Nanu Sandatta Etani Govinda Parilimta. He embraced by Krishna. Krishna आलिंगन किया, कृष्ण के द्वारा नित्य आलिंगित किया. Prahlad Maharaj was constantly embraced by Govinda. Govinda Parimata. Vasudeva, Krishna, Govinda. 3 words are used in 3 verses. Now tell me, is Prahlad Maharaj devotee of Narasimha or is a devotee of Krishna? Is a proof that Prahlad Maharaj is a devotee of Krishna, not Narasimha. Of course, both are in Tattva the same, but here Narada, who knows better about Prahlad than Narada, he uses 3 words, Vasudeva, and uses Krishna, uses Govinda. Embraced by Govinda, haunted by Krishna, and natural devotion to affection to whom? To Vasudeva. This shows the speciality of Prahlad Maharaj, that he is a devotee. He is a devotee of Krishna. By going further, in the same section, the qualities of Prahlad, Narada is speaking. Kvachit druddhati vaikuntha chinta sabala chetanaha. Kvachit dhasasita chinta hlada udgayati kvachit. Kvachit, sometimes he is ruddhati, he used to cry. When? Like a child would cry when the baby would not seek mother. Sometimes a small baby, the mother takes the baby to some store or grocery store. She is busy and the baby is playing. All of a sudden, the baby looks here and there. The mother is not seen. Starts crying. The same way, Krishna is always in the mind of Prahlad Maharaj. And the moment somewhat it happens, Krishna, he forgets or he doesn't see Krishna in the mind. Immediately, Prahlad Maharaj starts crying. Kvachit rudati vaikuntaha. Chinta sabala chetana. Kvachit dhavati. As soon as Prahlad Maharaj would see Krishna, like a baby would see the mother, he starts crying. And starts smiling, laughing. Kvachit dhasati tachinta halada. To chant loudly, udghatayati. Kvachit naidati. 40th verse. Kvachit utkanto vilajjo nityati kvachit. Kvachit tad bhavanaya yuktas tanmayo anurat anuchakaraha. Sometimes na dati, he loudly exclaims, oh Krishna, I would exclaim. Utkantaha, kvachit utkantaha, being very much anxious. And sometimes without shame, vilajjo nrityati kvachit, he would dance. Prahlad Maharaj. Kvachit tad bhavanaya ukta, because of so much of emotion for Krishna, tanmayatu anu chakaraha, would imitate Krishna's pastimes. So, Prahlad Maharaj, glorious devotion is such that Narasimha, he keeps him in Harivarsha. Harivarsha becomes a constant place where Narasimha can be even found in this world. Every Varsha, there is a form of the Lord. And the devotees, they are there worshipping the form of the Lord in that particular Varsha. Now, somebody may ask this question, that we always heard that Vishnu is there, from Vishnu all these forms come. What is understanding? How we should understand this thing? Yes, it is said. All the incarnations, in Chaitanya Charitamrita says, comes from Kshirodakshi Vishnu, because he is the connection between the spiritual and the material worlds. So all the incarnations are coming from the spiritual world. So from the material world, it seems as if Kshirodakshi Vishnu is coming as Rama and going back and becoming Kshirodakshi Vishnu again. Kshirodakshi is coming as Krishna and again going becoming Vishnu. Kshirodakshi Vishnu is coming here as Vamana and again becoming Vishnu. But actually it is not the case. He is the gate. Even though a prime minister has to come to your house, he has to come to the door only. That doesn't mean the door came as prime minister. No. Anybody comes, they have to come to the door. There is a world beyond this material world. And the door is a Kshirodakshi Vishnu. That is why it appears that Vishnu has come in these different forms. In the Bhagavatam also Bhishma says, Ye Shavai Adyo Narayana Puman. Adi Narayana, Adyo Narayana Puman. Ravaresho Mahadamsha Yukto. When Krishna appeared, it is described in Bhagavatam. He appears with all the amshas. That is why all the incarnations are all swamshas of Krishna. The jivas are even namshas. The incarnations are swamshas of Krishna. That is why when you list the Dashavatar, we should not have Krishna there. Krishna is not in the Dashavatar list. He is avatari. This is the speciality of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the special nature is that all the forms come from Krishna. Even Narayana comes from Krishna. Very difficult for the Madhvas and the Shri Vaishnavas to accept it. And it is more difficult for them, even though they are Vaishnavas, to accept that Lakshmi comes from Srimati Radharani. They say, oh, Radharani, Lakshmi just came as Radharani, did some pastime temporarily in Braja and she went back. But still, the Puranas clearly say that as much as Krishna is a source of all incarnations, in the same way, Radharani, she is a source of all Lakshmis. Lakshmi Sahasrashata Sambrama Sevamani, Vindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajan. Even Mahavishnu likes to see Krishna and Arjuna. For that, he did a pastime. So, that is a special attractive feature of Krishna. 4 features: Parikrama Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, Leela Madhuri. These are not there even in Narayana. They say Krishna is Purna Purushottam Bhagavan. All the 64 attributes are 100% present only in Krishna. These 4 attributes specifically are in Krishna and they are not found in Narayana. Then what to speak of other incarnations? That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he prays to Narasimha, oh Narasimha, I'll cry and roll at the door of your temple so that you remove all the obstacles so that I can do Radha Krishna Bhajan. So Narasimha has a speciality in Gaudiya Vaishnavism that we have to roll, cry at the door of temple of Narasimha and pray to him, remove all the obstacles so that I can attain Radha Krishna. We worship Narasimha to attain Radha Krishna, not to attain Narasimha. We pray to Narasimha, then all the obstacles are Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes 5 verses, beautiful verses, praying to Narasimha. Ultimately, he says, my goal is Radha Krishna. So, Narasimha has got a very special position in Gaudiya Vaishnava, Bhajan Pranali. So, we stop here. Any questions, please to ask.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice class and nice poems. Nice glorification of Prahlad Maharaj by Narad Muni. So, Prabhuji, this one, in the verse it was saying, right, Prabhu, where it said this one, Daitya Dhanava Kula Tirtha Karana Shila, right? So he, what is that? It's saying that, whose activities and character were so exalted that he delivered all the Daityas, demons born in his family. But later we see, right, Prabhu, when Bali Maharaj, always he was trying to attack Indra, right, and take position.
Yes.
So here it's saying he purified, right, Prabhu, his entire dynasty and family. But why Bali Maharaj, or later we see Banasura also,
Banasura, did he belong to the dynasty of Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad Maharaj and all? Even though Daitya Kula means that in that line, even he was promised that nobody in his line will be killed. That is why these two, Dhenukasura and Pralambasura, were not killed by Krishna. They were killed by Balram because they had connection with the Dvamsha. And that is what I heard. But in general, we see when a devotee appears in the family, they all get delivered. It is said in the Bhagavatam, 7th canto, I think it's the 10th chapter, when Narasimha, he says, you accept some boon. Prahlad Maharaj says, I am not a Vanika, I am not a businessman. Then Narasimha says, you do accept something. I am a person who can give any boon. So since you are insisting that you accept something, Prahlad Maharaj says that, what about my father? Then Narasimha says, what to speak of your father? 10 generations before you, 10 generations later, including yourself, 21 generations, all are delivered.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. So I didn't get that part, Prabhu. Why Bali Maharaj, coming in the lineage of Prahlad, was behaving, always trying to take Indra's position, Prabhu.
You see, there is eternal enmity between the demons and the demigods. Now, but that doesn't mean Bali Maharaj was not a devotee. It is the pastime of Krishna. He makes this fight between the demons and the demigods. So in that fight, what happens is, he wants to prove a point. Indra offended Brahaspati. So anybody who offends spiritual master should lose the kingdom. Bali Maharaj worshipped Sukracharya, by which he followed system of worshipping spiritual master. He has to get the kingdom. So how will he explain this thing? How Krishna will explain? They cannot just tell one verse and leave. He has to enact a pastime for it. The whole purpose is this. And ultimately, what did he do? He showed Indra that I favored you, but actual real favor is for Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj smiles at Indra. When Indra is getting the position and Krishna is putting the feet on his Bali Maharaj's head, Bali Maharaj smiles at Indra. Oh, Indra, you are cheated. Lord, everybody is thinking, Lord cheated me, but you are cheated because you got only heaven, I got Lord. So it is a pastime of Krishna in which many objectives are being fulfilled in one pastime. I just told you a couple of things. One is that how everybody worships spiritual master. Even the demon, since it's a fallen system, they will be progressing. Opulence will come. Everybody disrespects spiritual master, even they may be devotees. Advan, it is all opulence. Another point which I told was to show that how Bali Maharaj, devotion, surrender, Atmanivedana Acharya, that he smiled at his right. You think that Lord cheated, actually you are cheated. You got the kingdom of heaven, but I got the Lord of three worlds for me.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Okay. Please stop here.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for wonderful class. Very enlightened, Prabhuji. Anybody have any questions or realization? Please go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Very, very beautiful class, Prabhuji. I have two questions. Like you were saying about Rukmini Devi sending letter with Brahmana. So you mentioned something about that thing. What happened? He got incarnation or something, that Brahmana? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, the Brahmana incarnated as Vajirada Tirtha.
In South India?
Yeah, in South India. He appeared in Kumbhati, 10 kilometers from Udupi. A very nice pastime how he appeared and all. And his mata is in Sode Vajiraja Mata. There is Bhutaraja, there is Vrindavana, Pancha Vrindavana. Vajiraja Vrindavana is there. Or Samadhi is there.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. And another thing you were saying that Haigriva worship is in Pandharpur, you said. So can you tell where is the temple, or can we take darshan or something?
Which place?
Pandharpur, you said, right?
Pandharpur, there is Vajiraj Matha there. But the pastime of this thing happened in Pandharpur. We go to the internet and then type Dashavatara Stotra, Dashavatara Stuti, Vajiraja. Then you will find the song written by Vajiraja in Ashwaduti.
Okay.
That will find. But you will not find any temple there. We just stayed there for some time and not permanently there.
Okay, so there is no temple in Pandharpur.
No. The Vajiraja carries his deities. Na? His deities are there in Sode, in Sonda. If you right side, Sode Vajiraja Mata, Sode, you will get the place. There you have the deity. That deity travels with the sannyasi. So when Vajiraja had come to Pandharpur, this pastime happened.
Okay. Yeah, I found Vajiraja Tirtha. Yeah. And means because in Pandharpur I saw like there is a temple for Narsinghadev, temple for Anantashesh. All these temples are there. Even Radharani's temple also there. Everybody has separate small temples, but yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Very beautiful class. Vardhana Mataji can go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. Can we end the call, Mataji, if nobody have any questions?
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for all your valuable time and association to us this morning and giving us very enlightening class, Prabhuji. We are very grateful to you and we look forward for your association again and again, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Let us pay obeisances to Prabhuji and all the devotees. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Sindhuvyeva Patitanam Bhavamyo Vaishnaveva Namo Namaha.
Grantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai,
Ki
Guru
jai.
Sahita ki jai.
Jai.
Kamal Lochan Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
All assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Hare Krishna.